Hello, everybody. Happy Thursday. I am Jade and thank you for joining me on Facebook today. Um, let me know if you're able to hear me okay, if you're here with me. And I'm just going to wait a couple minutes for all of you to join me, but let me know that you can hear me okay because I never know how these videos and audios work. Hi, Lydia. Hi, everyone. Yes. Oh, good. So you can hear me. Thank you. So, yeah, as you all know, this whole month is Suicide Awareness Month, and some of you may know I lost a colleague to suicide a couple weeks ago. So I really want to be able to contribute to a lot of people. And I find it kind of sad that I've been in the place before where I also need help. And the saddest thing is the people who need the help the most are the least likely to ask. And it's not just because depression is hard to talk about, but because sometimes there's not a safe container for people to acknowledge how they're really feeling, how crappy they're really feeling. And I know that even for alternative healers and intuitive healers, and we are sometimes in this space of needing help. And when we go ask for help, we are told to not tell your story. We are told about how you need to be positive, the law of attraction, blah, blah, blah. So there are certain things in spiritual healing and alternative healing that are really, really beautiful and awesome. But sometimes they can be misused and they can be traps that keep people from really acknowledging how they're feeling and asking for help. And as a very psychic and intuitive person myself, this gift of intuition and psychicness is almost a double-edged sword because I can almost anticipate what is safe for me to share with someone. I can readily see that the healers I go to, they're going to be the sort of person who would tell me to not tell my story. They're going to be the sort of person who tell me to think positive or give lots of advice that actually creates separation. So if somebody really needs help, don't be going down a whole list of questions like, have you considered herbs? Have you considered acupuncture? Have you seen a craniosacral therapist? Do you know there's a help hotline? All that creates separation. So remember, if you know someone who's really depressed and they need help, please be gentle and be easy. And I remember when I'm depressed, when you're depressed, you don't always know. I'm sorry. When you're really very sorry. I know this must be an important call. When you're really depressed or suffering from PTSD or bipolar, it's not the easiest thing to be able to be vulnerable and say what's really going on because your mind is in a different place. You're feeling vulnerable. And I remember I wasn't always even able to put thoughts and feelings into words. And I wasn't going to come out and tell someone how I'm really feeling when I'm being told not to tell my story. And when what follows that is a list of questions that make you feel worse. Like, honey, have you considered the blah, blah, blah? And it's like a million questions that make me feel like, oh, I haven't done enough for myself. That is a painful way to take care of someone who is in depression. So please remember that before anyone feels safe sharing with you, you gotta create a safe container. And I also know that so many people are into identifying who's the energy vampire, who's blah, blah, blah. And because I'm psychic and intuitive, the moment someone starts to shield themselves so that the psychic vampire and me will not hurt them, the moment someone reacts that way, I can't share anything. And I know there's so many amazing, awesome healers out there who are in the exact space because we are so intuitive. We already know who decide to put up barriers, and in their mind they already consider you um, a vampire because you're feeling sad. See, that sort of a thing keeps someone who's feeling really vulnerable from asking for help. And I talked to a couple colleagues of mine about the suicide, and I do not know what was going on in her life and her mind, but I'm totally sure she has been asking for help in different ways for at least the last 2 to 3 years. But we avoided those signs, and some people have this tendency, especially very intuitive people, to automatically shield ourselves. And when someone's looking sad, we think, oh, that's an energy vampire, this and that. That keeps anyone and everyone from really being able to ask for help. And that's really what I feel is the hardest part for healers who are only human, who like to ask for help. And we already sense who already label us as energy vampires, like, because you're a healer, you can never be sad. And please don't do that to other people, because that creates separation. Labeling someone as an energy vampire just creates separation. Unless, take a chance to be there for them. Take a chance to be there for them. And if someone, thank you, Lydia, for the question. Lydia says, what if they don't want help because they are convinced they cannot be helped? Yeah, in that situation, sometimes it's best to just let go and be with the person and not need them to be a certain way, not need them to believe in certain systems, not need them to be convinced. Because, yeah, that convincing someone can go down a really dark place. You can't convince someone that their life is worth living when they are so lost in the dark about life. But you can just be there for them. And I know that after a while, it does feel like you're dealing with an energy vampire. But I say, take a chance to just be there for people. And I know that every one of us knows someone who has PTSD. Every one of us knows someone who is suffering so much inside. And sometimes the depression itself is not the primary issue. For some people, the depression itself is secondary to chronic illness, chronic pain, being on multiple medications, having given up on life. And this is where I want to begin right now. And I cannot force anyone to choose life or choose to live. But I know that if you're tuned into this, it's because you wanted help. And I just want to be able to be in that space with you. So for all of you on the call, for all of you who are watching the replay later, for all of you who are hurting so much, I just want you to take in a moment and really tune into the thought, I choose to live and thrive. And if you're depressed, that's a very hard one. So say to yourself, I choose to live and thrive. And I'm just going to start releasing from your energy field anything that keeps you from choosing that. And we all are complex. We all have subconscious beliefs. We all have past experiences, lots of pain that keep us from being congruent with choosing to live and thrive. So I'm going to tune into your energies and start releasing all those subconscious beliefs as well as all the past experiences that bring you to this point that keep you from choosing to live and thrive. So yeah, just stay in that space of I choose to live and thrive. And then I'm just going to release any and all subconscious issues that keep you from that choice. Because I know if you're tuning in to me right now, it's because you want help and you do choose to live and to thrive and to create more with your life. And you are so much bigger than all your issues and problems. And for those of you dealing with chronic pain, I know it's not easy. And if you've been medicated for chronic issues and chronic pain, that messes with your mind and your biochemistry, so that choosing to live and thrive just feels so hard. Yeah, so I'm going to release all those issues, whatever they may be. Some are actually very physical, like pain. Some are biochemical, like just all the medications and herbs interacting in a way that's not good for you. Yeah, and some of the issues are very emotional and past traumas. So just take gentle breaths as I tune into especially the connective tissue throughout your body, especially around your enteric nervous system, which is your guts. And we're going to release from all the connective tissue in your body that's holding on to any and all cellular memory of past pain, past trauma, accidents. We're going to release that from your tissues now. Yeah. And just let it gently be removed from your energy field, from your tissue. And I read, recently from some scientific studies that our DNA actually contains information of unhealed trauma from 23 generations ago. So in a moment, I will tune into that space in all of you and release any and all unhealed, unexpressed, repressed, unprocessed traumas in your energy field and in the DNA going back 23 generations. And as we clear this in our cells, we create an energy field that's more vibrant and whole. And then your energy, your vibration will be able to help many others, because as you heal that aspect of you, you give others permission to heal too, and the energy will know this about you. Right, so here we go. Whew, trauma. So I'm going to start with the father side of the family, because with the mother side of the family, there's DNA and there's also mitochondrial DNA. It's a little bit more complex. So I'm going to start for all of you, whomever you are, whenever you're tuning in on the replay or now. We're going to tune into, well, we're going to start with 8 generations, the last 8 generations and your father's side of the family. We're going to remove any and all miasms that create issues along the heart, because those issues that affect the heart, whatever they may be, can really keep you from feeling joyful in life. And a miasm is a term from homeopathy, that is an energy configuration that can manifest as physical illness in the body. And I'm tuning into the miasms for heart issues right now. Yeah, and you know, we could clear all the miasms, but that's gonna take some time. So today I'm just gonna choose a couple of things to release miasms or heart issues and any and all miasms that may create biochemical imbalance in the body and the brain that may predispose some of you to bipolar disorder or depression. And I just want to give a disclaimer, since I'm using those terms. I want you to know that I am not a doctor and I don't play one on TV, and I'm not an acupuncturist and I don't play one on TV, and I'm not a counselor and I certainly don't play one on TV. So the energy work I do, comes from me showing up in weekend workshops all the time, and some just things I learn along the way to heal myself, my clients, my family. And so in clearing this, I want you to know I am not suggesting that I am curing you of depression or curing you of bipolar disorder. But if it does work that way for you, then I'm very happy for you. All right, so those are the miasms for heart patterns, and I'm still feeling quite full. So let me clear some lung patterns too, because when you have lung and issues, pulmonary circulatory issues, let's release those too. So those are the miasms from the father side of the family, and we're going to start releasing traumas from the father side of the family that may still be in your DNA, right? Here we go. And then all the unresolved, unexpressed, repressed, suppressed, unspoken issues you may have with your father and anyone on your father's side of the family. So that's big, right? And then, as you know, every family has skeletons in the closet. It's almost like we are the same family. So any skeletons in the closet that may still create issues for anyone, let's release that. And again, I'm just looking on the father side of the family. Give me a moment before I get to the mother side. Here we go. And all the men who may be suffering from PTSD, so there's real trauma in all the tissues in your body, right? And then some of you may also have had in your families, you may have had the energy of war and trauma and famine in past generations, because throughout human history, no matter which country, which continent, there was war. So the traumas of war, what if we can just release that from our energy field, from our DNA now? Yeah, that human war virus. Let's delete that from our energy field. And I want you all to tune into that energy and just support me to release this from the greater field of energy beyond all of us here, but in the whole field of humanity right now and the whole planet. So, here we go. And let this reach as many people as possible so that we can delete and release to the light forever and ever this virus called war, this social virus called war. And all those who have been hurt by war, all those suffering from PTSD, the soldiers, their families, let's send them all some love right now. Doesn't matter who you fought for, it only matters that now we can come together and heal. Yeah, so there's a lot of that, and I probably could do an entire call on this. And I think that PTSD is very complex. It actually does deserve uh, an entire call on its own, and helping us all to release the, that virus. I just call it a virus of war, because when you talk about it as a virus that has been infecting humanity for so long, we can delete that. It's easy to work with, right? Then we don't have to worry about all the other complex issues that go with war. If we see it as a virus that we can work on releasing together. Because we don't have to negotiate with anyone to do that. We can just do that. Oh, yeah, let's do that together. Wow. And those of you, and I think all of you on the call, some of you are really amazing healers, and you can really feel the difference between that very dense energy called war and the not so dense energy of peace. So let's delete this again. This energy of war that creates so much suffering on the planet, and that may have still um, unresolved trauma that's trapped in our DNA. So we're releasing that from our DNA, and we're releasing that from the greater population of, all of humanity. Yeah, good. All right, so that was a lot of release from the father side of the family, but And I know that it's on both sides of the family, but since we're working on DNA, all right, we're going to work on DNA from mother's side of the family, and that's the mitochondrial DNA. So tuning into you all, everyone here, everyone on the replay, we're going to release from your mitochondrial DNA any and all unresolved, unexpressed, repressed trauma going back 23 generations from your mother's side of the family. And again, the whole virus of war, we're going to release that from the mother's side of the family, or traumas from war. Any miasms for heart-related issues, or the miasms that can create biochemical imbalance in your body. Yeah, and release all that. Any issues that may create hormonal imbalance in the body that contributes to depression or bipolar, we're going to release all that now. Yep, I have that in my family too. Yeah, I'm going to release that. And then any other emotional traumas that are still in your DNA, I'm going to release that now. So now for a moment, I'm going to work with your enteric nervous system. So that's your guts, because a lot of studies show that when you have the right bacteria in your guts, you're less likely to have depression. And sometimes when you're depressed, it creates emotional issues that are held here. So I'm going to work on the enteric nervous system. This is something about the brain stem and the whole, let's see, yeah, vagus nerve. So some of you need to have the vagus nerve worked on, and I'm feeling that as I'm working on your enteric nervous system. So I'm going to do that for you. Work on the brain stem as well as the vagus nerve, which is the biggest cranial nerve that actually has branches going down to your stomach and heart and everywhere. So I'm going to open up more space in the back of the head and open up more space here so that it just feels more spacious in your head. Here we go. Oh. Oh. And it's bizarre how we can do craniosacral work and I don't need to touch your head, but we're going to do this now. Oh. There we go. Brainstem. And then the whole entire biochemistry that contributes to you having the right neurotransmitters and the feel-good hormones, serotonin, dopamine, nitric oxide. So let's change the biochemistry of the brain for a moment so that you can access those neurotransmitters easier. Oh. And for some of you, depending on where in the world you live, there's light receptors around your eyes and throughout your body. So I just want to tune into those light receptors so that your body is able to receive the vitamin D that's required from sunlight. So especially people in the northern hemisphere or anyone who has been indoors for a while, let's change that for you so that you have the right light receptors on your skin to receive more vitamin D and to receive the healing rays of light that support your pineal gland and support you to create the right amount of vitamin D and anything else that your body needs to have a healthy biochemistry that supports you to have the right amount of neurotransmitters for your body, to have the right amount of serotonin for you, dopamine, nitric oxide. So I wonder if you feel that buzz around your head right now as I'm doing this. Send me a thumbs up if you're actually feeling like buzzy around your head or your body right now. Oh. Okay, you're just yawning like me. That's okay. Yeah, thank you. So now that we have done some work to release stuff from our DNA, from our body, from our connective tissue, from our enteric nervous system, now for those of you who joined me since the beginning, I want you to really tune into the belief, I choose to live and thrive. Tune into that again and feel how it's so much easier for you to be able to say to yourself those words and have it be meaningful now, right? Because if you were really depressed, even just saying those words was hard to say, and it didn't feel like there was any meaning in it, right? So say to yourself, whether out loud or just quietly to yourself, say, I choose to live and thrive. It's good to have clients, but my goodness, I've been getting calls all morning, which I'm grateful for, but I gotta finish this. So, all of you say for yourself, I choose to live and thrive, and I'm still gonna tune into how congruent you are with that, how congruent the body's energy is with that, how congruent your emotional body's energy is with that, and how congruent your subconscious is with I choose to live and thrive. Yes, so just stay with that thought. I choose to live and thrive. So anything in the physical body that's not congruent with that, we're going to release. Anything in an emotional body that's not congruent with you choosing to live and thrive, we're going to release whatever those emotional issues may be. And wire you to know that you have what it takes to take care of whatever issues that are confronting you. And you are always so much bigger than all your problems. You are always so much bigger than all your problems. And it may be fun to just make choices on 10-second increments. So in this 10-second, what are you choosing? That way you don't overwhelm yourself with all the issues you got to deal with. Because, yeah. So, yeah, now is it easier to choose to live and thrive. And I know for those of you who may have chronic pain, it's really hard. And some days you don't want to be here, and it's totally understandable. And allow yourself to choose in 10-minute increments and know that you can handle the 10-second increments and know that you can handle the next 10 seconds and in the next 10 seconds. And you can choose something different in the next 10 seconds. Yeah, there was a request, speaking about pain, that just makes it so hard for someone to choose to be here. Yeah. Um, so there's someone with nerve pain from the chicken pox. When you get chicken pox as an adult, sometimes you get shingles, and sometimes those just don't leave, and they leave you suffering so much. So I'm just going to take a minute to tune into nerve pain, neuralgia, and I know that some diabetics have this too. And it just makes it so hard for you to go on with your life. And so here, I'm going to send something to release nerve pain for you. Oh, oh. And for just a moment, the nerve pain may get worse because it's responding to energy. So you may momentarily get worse before it gets better. I'm sorry about that. But here we go. For all those who have uncontrollable nerve pain, here we go. Mm. Oh, I am quiet now, but can you hear me now? Can you hear me now? I hope you can hear me now. Oh, so that was for someone who had a nerve pain. Oh, good. Good, good, good. Yeah, and before we end this call, I'm going to just take a moment to send like some concentrated sunlight sort of a thing into your bodies, into your field of energy to wake up the sunshine and sunlight within you. And we're going to just flood your energy field with the right neurotransmitters that your body requires at the moment, whether that's dopamine, serotonin, nitric oxide, whatever your body is needing, we're going to send it back. All right. So I think for the last 10 minutes or so, I'm actually going to take calls, or if anybody has requests, now is the time that you can put in requests in the comment section if you like. Yeah. If not, that's okay too. I'm glad that you're all here. Please feel free to share this video, and I will upload it on YouTube. The replay will be uploaded on YouTube. And you are always welcome to share my videos on your own timeline or whatever you choose. You are welcome to share my videos. So yeah. So I think that's all for today. And see you next week. I think that I'm going to do this on a weekly basis. So, yeah, see you all next week. I will be back. Thank you so much for tuning in today. Bye bye.